Hello, I'm Mike Moore with a special program from Rockingham Community College with our new president, Dr. Sylvia Cox. She is actually in our studios today. Hey, Dr. Cox.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited too. And Quintessa is with us with the IT department, so welcome to her as well.
Yeah.
A lot of us heard you in that installation ceremony, and we'll get to that in some comments you made there. I want to follow up on that. I want to talk about your vision and all of the good things you're bringing to Rockingham Community College. We've heard a lot about you lately, but I want to know a little bit more about your family and you and how you got to RCC.
So, I have 3 children, which Dr. English, my former president at Southeastern, reminded everyone is really important. Probably my greatest work is being a mother, as most people would agree with me. And that's Haley, Andrew, and Ethan. So Ethan is our youngest. He's still at NC State, and Andrew's out in the world working, and so is Haley. She's a state Wolfpack alumni, and they're really doing well. And we have been so blessed to be able to balance our work and be able to still be very active in their lives as they grew up. So I'm from Columbus County, North Carolina. So someone reminded me that when I speak that I might give that away. The Eastern dialect is there. I was born and raised there, and it's a very small town. So typical small town. I thought that I just needed to get out of it and I'd be okay. I missed the opportunities that were right there when I was young, and I did go off to college. I was first generation college students. My parents didn't go to college, but as I mentioned, my father realized as he got older that was an opportunity that he had missed, and he wanted to make sure that we got that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So. And Drew, your husband, has been with NCDOT for many years.
He has, and so Drew and I were high school sweethearts, and we've grown up together. Okay. We've been married for 33 years, and so I went to Mount Olive College, small college, and then transferred to State, but Drew went there the whole time. He fell in love with engineering and civil engineering, and has made an amazing career in the Department of Transportation. I say that I feel like I'm a part of their work because it's such a big family. It's been a wonderful work, and he is the deputy chief engineer. He works out of Raleigh, the Raleigh office, but 58 out of the 100 counties in North Carolina are under his supervision and maintenance and projects and all things roads. And so actually we have a lot of good conversations around transportation and workforce development because they go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And we've learned a lot from each other. So we're really proud of him. He worked his way up from cutting lines and surveying when he first started at DOT, and worked continuously through the process, and really enjoys his work. And so we both feel like that we are very blessed to both enjoy what we do.
We're very blessed to have you, Dr. Cox, here at Rockingham Community College. And as the 6th president, and I've been fortunate to have known all 6 of those in my time here in the county, everyone brings different skill sets and talents. What do you bring to Rockingham Community College?
Well, I think that I uniquely bring the understanding of how important a community college is to its community. And I have a deep background also in teaching and learning. Mm-hmm. As many first-generation college students, I went off into the world to teach because I saw the impact that my teachers had on me. And I taught in public school, and so I taught in high school and then moved on to the community college. So I bring that perspective, and a lot of the development of pathways from high school to community college and how to make that seamless is because of my understanding of how that the K-12 system works and how we can work together. Mm-hmm. I also have a deep love for workforce development, because I've seen the impact that it brings into our communities and particularly into a small community, what a difference it makes. Sometimes the workforce development door, and oftentimes it's the door that you need to go into. But I also had a stint in student services. So not only do I know about workforce development, academics, I understand SACS and accreditation very well, but I know student services and the impact that the full package of wraparound services, thinking about the whole student is really important. And in my dissertation, I looked at the impact of communication and connections with students and realized that the impact that we have on community college students is really powerful. If they can get connected to anyone at an institution, they're more likely to persist. So I bring all of those things, but I uniquely understand a rural community. I love that. I wanted to come to a small community, and so I think I understand the dynamics and the important role that a community college plays in a rural community uniquely, because I am rural North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you bring so much to Rockingham Community College on so many levels, so we are so glad you're here. I spoke to someone yesterday, a businesswoman who's about to open a new business here in the county. Her daughter recently graduated in the nursing program at RCC, and you spoke at the pinning ceremony, is that right?
I did.
Is that what it's called, pinning?
Yes, sir.
So she's heard you speak there and at your installation ceremony. We were both moved. You touched us. It was very emotional for her and her daughter there, and graduating, of course. But we get your passion and your enthusiasm and your personal connection there. And I took notes. I brought in a little page of notes here from that installation ceremony. And you said community college listens, responds, and leads. We put our students at the center of every decision.
Absolutely.
And just in our conversations, we had a good chat a couple of times at Riverfest on stage, and that seems to be your focus for sure, and maybe that's been there all along with community college, but you seem to take it to another level.
Well, that's awesome. It is critically important. Sometimes, and I'm a big believer in processes and standard operating procedures and making sure processes work well. But if we get into too much process and forget about the people that we're serving, then the process may be perfect, but the people are not there. So making sure that we connect with people is really important, and to think about and listen to students, because our best intentions can go wrong if we don't get feedback from the very people that we're there to serve. Mm-hmm. So I have learned so much from students. And great thing about being in community college or education your whole life is that you never stop learning. But the very people that I learned the most from are from our students. And when they can trust you, they'll tell you what you did really well, and then they'll be very honest about where the mark might have been missed. So that's really important, because if they can't look back on their lives and know that their lives are better because that they spent time with us, then we've missed where that we were supposed to be. I really believe in Dr. Dallas Herring's philosophy of meeting people where they are and taking them as far as they possibly can go. But how do you know if you've done that or not if you're not speaking to them and making sure that they're the center of your work? Mm-hmm. So I think that is something that's critical to all community colleges, but being a first-generation college student, I know how critically important it is for us to get that right.
Sure. Okay. You mentioned workforce development a couple of times, but also in your installation ceremony, you said workforce development is the heart, that's your word, heart.
That's right.
Of the mission. Let's talk about, I know you're excited and you're pumped about the Center for Workforce Development at Rockingham Community College. Let's jump right into that.
Yes. So it is amazing. Again, the quarter cent sales tax and what the heart of this community to give to Rockingham Community College is incredible. And that building is there because of the investment from this county. So every time you drive by it, and hopefully every time you walk in it, if you are a citizen of Rockingham County, you should feel extremely proud. And that center really is to touch all aspects of advanced manufacturing, from the very short-term opportunities to a longer 2-year degree. And that has ebbed and flowed in manufacturing has ebbed and flowed in Rockingham County, but we see in this region, and we see with Lee Cochran's team, that it is coming back. So you have some of the most state-of-the-art equipment right here in our county, and Dr. Tony Gunn also worked very diligently. He's an amazing grant writer. So the equipment and the materials that we have in there for students to use are incredible. Mechatronics, electrical systems, machining, from the very basic of machining to the most advanced to 3D printers. There's also a small business center is in there. So that person that has the dream of being an entrepreneur, which is extremely important to spur, can come in there and get help from Randy Hunt. There's also the hub for customized training, and there's corporate training center there that we want more business industry to use, because when they're in there, we get to talk to them. They get to see, our students get to see them, and we learn more. And so it is an incredible opportunity right there. Although, don't forget the Owens building and the others, welding. They're all, sometimes we think workforce development and don't think healthcare, but we are a mighty force in healthcare and workforce development when it comes to healthcare and our partners there as well. So it starts with the Center for Workforce Development that we certainly are very excited about, but it expands all through the campus that we're really building a workforce for Rockingham County.
You mentioned a couple of key people there. Tony Gunn, he has been there. I've lost track how many years.
Yeah.
And Randy Hunt with Small Business Center and all of that. So you've got so many good people on your team, haven't you?
Absolutely. What a phenomenal team. What a blessing it is to come to this county and for this county to be so supportive of the college. But the team that we have at the college and that has invested there for so many years is incredible. And it's more than a job to the employees who work there. It's really a passion. It's a commitment to the community, and you can see that in the longevity of the individuals that have been there and the work that they do. They really are supportive and of the community, and they've been super supportive of me. So it's made this first 5 months really easy because they have such good structure. And as I said in my installation speech, we're not here to reinvent. We're here to reignite, because there's been so much good energy. And one of the reasons that I was drawn here is because that the work that already had started there. And so I'm just very grateful to pick that up and to continue it and to be very excited about it, because I see so many possibilities that have already happened, and I can continue to see more and more and more. And with the team that we have, if you want to feel cared and connected, come to our campus, enroll in our classes, and you will connect with someone who sees the long-term benefits of giving into their community.
They, like you, are passionate. They care.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're saying words there in workforce development that didn't even exist when I was growing up in Rowan County, and Rowan Community College was new then, and when I was in high school, and I'm thinking about all of the changes in those many years, because it has been many years for me. But the community college system, and there are how many? There are 50. What? How many?
58.
58.
That's right. All
on the cutting edge, and the workforce development programs and all of that, just right there where we are today.
That's right. And information technology, Cisco. There's a whole world that we've opened up there, and we've done some short-term workforce development around that. So that's that rapid changing, and community college are positioned to be nimble and move on that. And so that's why that workforce side is very flexible. We can start programs there, see how it goes, and then roll it into a curriculum if needed. And sometimes in the changing world that we're in, it's not necessarily needed. You can go to work and do quite well with a short-term workforce development program. But we're also working and thinking forward ahead of that, as that when we develop those, we want to think stackable into the future, because we want those credentials that you're earning, not all of them, some of them are very short term, but many of those credentials we're building back to, if you want to come back and do a curriculum or a longer term or a diploma, those credits will come with you through a process of credit for prior knowledge. So we're working on that very intently for adults, but also for those high school students that might have high school credit. You want people to continue to make progress and accelerate on the learning that they've already achieved. So there's a whole new world in IT, and Thomas Knight and his team could super impress you with everything that they're doing in their world. So it's really pretty stellar, the folks that we have working with us. And a lot of times you go to a major university because you want those stellar people, but you may not meet those professors until your junior or senior year. You're seeing people that are stellar in their work day one when you come to RCC.
So you mentioned Thomas Knight.
That's right.
Yeah, another key person.
That's right.
Yeah. When we start naming names, we'll be here the rest of the day.
I know.
There's so many.
And he's and that whole team understands connection too, because not only are they teaching people really great skills, but they have a great club where they're getting students connected into the institution and really giving into them. So that full circle of putting the student first and at the center of our work, that is a really great example of that.
Let's talk. Let's expand on that connecting idea, because October is a very special month.
It is
in the community college system in our state and at RCC, of course. Tell us what's going on.
So, Countdown for College is a North Carolina initiative, so we're working on that and partnering with those agencies to really get students to think early about, as you're a high school senior, what you're going to do in fall 2023. And if you're a high school senior, that might feel like a long, long way off. But as many of us know, that high school year goes really quickly. So our staff, along with Rockingham County Schools, working together to get students to complete those college applications. And we're encouraging students to add RCC to that. No matter where you think that you're going to land, you're probably, even if you land at a university, we're your home college and you're going to find your way back. So go ahead and finish those applications. It's always free. And we're also working together with Next Step advisors that are at the high school on the FAFSA completion. So that's a free application for federal student aid. So millions of dollars might be left on the table each year for students who just didn't apply to complete that application. And it can seem a little daunting if you've never done that before. So the RCC team of financial aid staff is there to help you, whether you're coming to RCC or you're going to another university, because you're a part of our community, and that's where we're the community's college, and we're going to help you. And so to give a little incentive to that too, any student who completes the FAFSA during the month of October and an application to RCC will be entered to win some AirPods. Everybody could use another pair of AirPods to listen to your favorite podcast, like the Mike Moore podcast, right? So we're doing that to encourage it and to really try to lock arms with our community, because FAFSA completion, the research has shown those students that complete the FAFSA are way more likely to go on to college. And remember, it's not just for universities, it's for community colleges. And also, there's opportunity open up to apply some of those funds to short-term workforce development. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to be thinking long-term. You can have access to that. And those grant funds will often cover your total cost of attendance at a community college. So it's the same amount whether or not that you go to a university or a community college, but the advantage to coming to a community college is that those funds can really cover everything that you need there without you going into debt, which is always a plus, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Now, you have a special event coming up October 23rd.
We do. So you'll have an opportunity to come to our campus on October 23rd, and we can help you with that application to the college or another. We'll help you with the FAFSA, and you'll also get to explore some of our programs that are at the college. You get a little open house and go over and talk about the careers that we offer. And I think if you haven't looked in a while, you're going to be shocked at some of the opportunities that are available to you right here. And 2030, My Future NC estimates, although we're making progress towards it, that there'll be 2 million gap in the workforce. And that is around
2 million.
Wow. Just in North Carolina. And that is around technical work. So, and again, healthcare is in that technical work. So you can, and if the four-year university is right for you, that's beautiful. And we by the way, have a great 2-year program that transfers into a 4-year program. And so our faculty, again, you're going to engage with them immediately, and our students who transfer to the universities from RCC do quite well. So save that money the first 2 years and pay for yourself a master's degree, right? So if you want to go that route, we're a great option and a start, and you get a lot smaller class sizes. But there's also that technical gap. So you can do really well in the world with a certificate, a diploma, or a short-term degree. There's a lot of job openings and pressure being felt in the workforce around construction, advanced manufacturing, and healthcare. So those are all things that you can complete and go right into the workforce from RCC, and maybe get an internship along the way.
That brings us to one thing I know you wanted to talk about. You are developing more certificates this year and an intern program, perhaps.
That's right. We're working on those. So a lot of times, a short-term certificate can get you right into the workplace. It can be on the degree side or the workforce side. And that is what you need just to accelerate into the workforce. But sometimes you get to the end of a certificate and say, hooray, I did really great. Let me keep going. And again, you may go for 5 or 10 years and then want to come back, and we're going to work on that credit for prior knowledge. So certificates really can level you up into a high earning wage position. So you don't have to think long-term to be really successful. So we're working on several options and in opportunities for you to come in maybe within a semester or two and complete a certificate. And within those certificates, we have micro-credentials where you get third-party industry-recognized credentials that employers really like to see. And it also puts an exclamation mark on the great learning that you're receiving in RCC. So we're really focused on certificates, and then how can we level students into internships. So if you've thought about maybe that you might want to see a student work at your workplace, give us a call. Jennifer Lester is working with those now, but we have a position open for work-based learning coordinators so that we can increase that, because we know when students get an opportunity to work while they're learning, that their learning is truly ignited and they get to really understand what they're learning from the classroom, and they have another person that they often connect with at that workplace that can really help what they're learning in the classroom come to life, and another support system, really. So those often lead to full-time employment. And that's what we want students to work on is, where is it that what's the career cluster you're interested in? And that's really important, your program. But often the final key to you feeling successful at work is choosing the right organization for you. And so an internship, I say, is a long interview. And it lets you see and the employer see if you're the right fit, and gives you a lot of exposure to that industry and helps your learning, gives you something to build off of and to really get great exposure to.
We'll find out more about this event coming up on October 23rd as it gets closer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jerry Hunt will be putting that information out. Let's look back at last week and Envision, because that was great from what I hear.
It was tremendous. Part of what makes my heart happy is to see young people on our campus. So I got to be with the bus bringing in crowd, and we had public, private, charter. Every 7th and 10th grader in the county was invited. So it is really important to let them start to think about the possibilities. And again, they're jobs that we used to say we're preparing students for jobs that don't even exist, but it was really true. There are new jobs today that didn't exist a decade ago easily. And for this generation, that's going to change in 3 to 5 years. They may change careers 3 times. Gen Xers like me have changed careers, not jobs, for an average of 2 times in their lifetime. So easily we believe that this generation will change their careers, not their jobs, at least 3 times. So, they need to be exposed to all the different possibilities and all the different possibilities that are available to them right here at home in Rockingham County. And so intentionally, when I talked to those students, I was like, isn't this amazing? And what are you interested in? And a really important conversation is, what did you not like? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes the easiest way to discover what you really like is to start saying, oh no, this I can take off of my list. And it really starts to clear your thinking about what you do like. So that's a much lower stakes question to ask students. And so them starting to engage with employers to see employers, along with the RCC faculty, were really intentional about giving students something to maybe put their hands on, to really see something interesting about that work. And it also aligns with their career planning. So in the 8th grade and 10th grade, they're creating a career plan. So if you see all the lots of options in 7th grade, then when you get to 8th grade, you can really be intentional about thinking about what is it that you might want to do. And then in the 10th grade, you get an opportunity to look at it again, because a career conversation is many, many, many. It's a journey, not a one-time conversation. And so you have to keep reinvesting. So think about the student comes in 7th grade and then they come back in 10th grade. They have a lot more things to build on. And education is also often a spiral curriculum. So again, you're going to repeat and look at those things again. So that was a beautiful partnership with Rockingham Economic Development. They are central to helping us bring in those business partners and help organize the organization of that event. They're tremendous, and Rockingham County Schools and RCC. So them having the opportunity to engage in all of that and come on our campus is really impactful Plus, it also gives them an opportunity to get exposed. It's pretty shocking how that people in your own community that might have lived here forever may not know what's happening on a community college campus. So if you give students the opportunity to be on the campus and get exposed to it, it's pretty incredible. Over 50 different employers and faculty from RCC did expose those students to some really phenomenal opportunities that they have in the future. So it's a really great example of what happens when powerful partners get together with a like-minded goal. So we were thrilled to have them on our campus and thrilled to see their excitement as they engaged in with different vendors and different business and industry partners.
How many students did you have on campus?
So altogether, 1,500.
1,500, wow.
Yeah. That's
that
not something you get to do every day, right?
Some, but maybe many had never been on campus before.
I'm sure that some of them had not. And certainly, even if they're on campus, this very intentional let us put in front of you what this industry is like. A lot of times in our industry, we use a lot of jargon. And so we're talking about things that students don't have a language for. So for them to actually see it, touch it, ask questions, and we encouraged them every time we got on a bus. We said, make sure you're asking lots of questions today, because that's really important. And, whether or not that they fully embraced it or not, they saw people timing out from their very busy schedules to invest in them. And that is really important, and gives them an opportunity to think about also what a wonderful community they live in and how much this community cares about them.
Our time is up, but we've got to take another moment here, okay, to talk about that keyword, partnerships. You've mentioned a couple, but how important is that in our county, in our community?
Well, everything we partner with others on is better. And I think that you cannot think of everything as one organization. So when you have the opportunity to partner and really sit at the table and collaborate, then we make great progress. As a classroom teacher, I know I made an impact. But I know I made a bigger impact through administrative and institutional decisions. And when we as a community make decisions and we focus on things together, we're going to make a lot more progress. I call it locking arms. And when we lock arms together, and we particularly have to do that in a small community where we may time, resources, and funds may be limited. So if we all come together, then whatever we determine to do, the outcomes will be significantly more impactful. And you can see that on the research. When we work together and we have a goal together and we measure that and we look at it, we're going to make progress. There's just no way around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all comes together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have made such a big impact on Rockingham Community College and our county since you've been here. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Looking forward to many years.
Absolutely.
Here with you and what you're bringing to Rockingham Community College. Anything in your closing thoughts here?
So I just want to emphasize how much I appreciate the faculty and staff at RCC, but also this community. Sometimes you live in a community for a really long time, you start to take for granted all the greatness, but I see it all, and I have been overwhelmed and touched by how much people have invested in me already. And I just know that I'm in the right place, and I cannot wait to continue my work here. But this is not just, Rockingham County is not just a good place, it's a great place, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
We connected at a ribbon cutting not too long after you arrived here.
That's right.
And we said then we'd be doing a podcast. We've done it, and it looks like maybe we're on track to do one every quarter.
That is wonderful.
So I'm excited about that.
I am as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of excitement in everything about RCC.
That's right.
Really.
And so just keep looking, because it's just going to keep getting better and better because that's what community colleges do really well. And ours is pretty special.
It really is. Thank you, Dr. Sylvia Cox.
Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Cox in our studios today. And Quintessa, thank you for being here in the IT department at RCC. For more information, keep up with what's happening at rockinghamcc.edu.